Good morning, everybody. I'm Jackie Green from the Chatham County Council on Aging. We have a very special program for you this morning. Yes, my glasses are fogging up. I am in an area in our office where I don't have a door, which is why I have my mask on, so bear with me. We have a special guest this morning. Her name is Cheryl Levinson. She works as a health educator for the geriatric adult specialty team for Therapeutic Alternatives. And the team provides education on mental health topics to providers of older adult services in 9 counties in North Carolina. As a psychiatric nurse, Cheryl has long been an advocate and provider of community mental health services for older adults. Her expertise focuses on care for those living with symptoms of a neurological or mental health diagnosis through a wellness perspective. So you know that's why we kind of hit it off, is because we like to focus on wellness. Cheryl moved to North Carolina last year from Illinois, where she gained extensive experience in program innovation and development, community outreach, and education. And the program that we are doing this morning is called Minding Your Stress. Not that any of us have any of it here in the world of COVID. So without further ado, I'm going to transfer over the spotlight to Cheryl and welcome Cheryl to our program this morning. Good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to be here with all of you this morning. And if I can get the technology right, we'll get started. So should I share my screen then, Jackie?
Yes, please.
Now?
Yep.
Okay, and then I will get that PowerPoint up and running.
Look at how good you are. Woo woo! We love it when things go well.
No, I have to move these guys over because these guys are in my way. Trying to get, you see? Spoke too soon.
That's okay.
Okay, I just need, oh, there we go. Okay. We're going to play this from the start. And then I'm probably going to take my picture off because I think it's distracting.
Okay.
While I'm doing the PowerPoint presentation. Okay.
That's fine. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So here we are. You talked a little bit already about therapeutic alternatives and what we do. We run through Cardinal Innovations Healthcare, and they provide mental health services in our community. And just so you know that this presentation is not intended to diagnose or treat any physical or mental disorders. The slides are brief and they're bullet points of information and probably shouldn't take them out of context. Okay, so let's get going. So today I'm here to talk about stress. Through my work, I recognize that the effect of stress has on all aspects of our health. I became very interested in the benefits of mindfulness practices to counterbalance that stress. So I took a training with Capacitar organization. It was founded by Patricia Kane, and her goal was to share these practices. I learned a lot of very different, very simple practices for self-healing. She's taught these practices around the world. She goes to places where people have little access to mental health services. And so these practices are a way that they can help to self-heal. The word capacitar means to empower. And so the training offers many ways to promote self-healing for persons who are experiencing chronic or traumatic stress. So for me, this was a great fit because this was something I could do, that I could teach and even use in my own life to counterbalance the effects of stress, which we'll talk about in a little while. So I've had the opportunity to take these practices and teach them to health professionals around the country, to local community groups, to family caregivers. And when I started doing it, I realized that the best way to demonstrate the effectiveness of the practices is to offer opportunities for persons to experiencing them firsthand. So the objectives of today are that you will learn to create a self-care plan to promote personal well-being, that we will talk about the mental and the physical effects of stress, and that you will experience 3 mindfulness practices that support mental health. So throughout the presentation, I'll be offering a couple different, I think there's 3 on here, 3 different practices. The slides on those practices have already been recorded, and I'll let you know before I put them up. And I invite you to join me in the practices or just to listen. It's up to you. It's all up to you. So there's nothing strenuous, or you don't even have to get out of your seat for these. So I think it'll be pretty good. So this training starts with you, and let's get started. Namaste. This is how I usually open up all the practices. And it means the spirit in me salutes the spirit in you. I can't think of a better way, better greeting for our meeting today. So we can now use the namaste bow because we're not shaking hands anymore, but we can offer our respect and our caring as we raise our hands in a prayerful position, mindful of one another. So namaste. This next slide, before I put it on, I want to tell you that just in doing a little review, wanted to be up to date. Last night I went to the CDC website just to see what they said about pandemics and stress. This is what they said. Pandemics can be stressful, and I quote, "Yes, pandemics can be stressful." So we're waiting right now to understand, avoid illness, win the war against this coronavirus, COVID-19. But how can we best deal with the stress and the emotional and mental health toll that this situation may cause? We're going to go back here. Okay. One tool that we all have is our breath. A psychologist named Gay Hendricks coined the term breath work in the 1970s as a tool for healing, stress reduction, and personal development. Breath can be used to release and heal the wounds of trauma. In moments of stress, the breath can be a way to build energy and endurance. Breathing through a stressful time is an effective way to let go of the tensions that accumulate in the body. A few long, deep breaths at a difficult moment can completely change the way we handle a situation. Remaining mindful of your breath can help you to remain in control of your response to stressful situations. So the next slide, we're going to do a little breathing exercise, and it is recorded. It's me, but you might sound a little different. I'd like to now invite you to join me in the observation of the breath. Sit comfortably with your back supported and your feet touching the ground. Close your eyes, breathe normally, and become aware of the air flowing into your body. Observe the quality of the air, how it circulates around, where it goes inside your body. Now breathe out and observe the air leaving your body. Do this inhalation and exhalation several times, observing but not judging how you normally breathe. Do you breathe in through your nostrils or your mouth? Where does the air seem to circulate? Does it stay in the throat or upper chest area? Does it move down the trunk into the abdomen? Do you exhale through the nostrils? Do you notice any sensations in your muscles as you breathe? Tightness, constriction, warmth, or softness? If the air is clean and fresh, how does that feel? If the air is stagnant or contaminated, how does that affect the way you breathe? Continue breathing normally, observing your pattern of breath, appreciating your ability to cleanse and nourish body, mind, and spirit with air. Now continue to keep your eyes closed, breathe deeply, and center yourself in the moment, letting go of all thoughts and worries of the day. Place your left hand gently on your abdomen below the navel and your right hand on top of your left hand. Take a slow, deep breath through your nose and imagine the air moving down through your body and into your abdomen, filling your abdomen with air as if it were a large balloon. Feel your ribs expanding outward and upward as your abdomen expands and fills. Hold your breath for a few seconds and then exhale slowly through your mouth, contracting the muscles of the abdomen, letting go of all tension in your body as you release your breath. Pause for a few moments and then repeat the full abdominal breath for several minutes. If thoughts come in your mind, gently release them and return to the image of the warm air moving in and out of your body. And take a few deep breaths now. Okay. So I hope that you're feeling a little more relaxed now. And because stress knocks us off balance. Depending on your source, it's estimated, if you look at the statistics, it's estimated that anywhere from 60 to 90% of doctor visits are related to stress in one way or another. So, our physiological response to stress affects us both physically and mentally. And by the way, if you have any comments or questions while I'm talking, just stop me, just shout out, and we can address that as we go along, or we'll have time to talk when I'm finished also. So it's pretty normal to be feeling stressed in this current situation, in addition to just everyday stressors that come about. But stress and the feelings associated with it are by no means a reflection that you are weak. Okay, managing your mental health and psychosocial well-being during this time is as important as managing your physical health. So let's take a look at some of the symptoms, symptoms of stress. And you want to be aware of these, because if they start to happen, you really want to get ahead of it so you don't have these symptoms, and try to develop better coping skills. But if they do, then that's a real red flag. Sometimes cognitively, you might have memory problems, trouble concentrating, your judgment is a little off. You might start to see things always through a negative filter, and that really only helps to accumulate the amount of stress that we have. You might have racing thoughts or worrying a lot more than you used to. Emotionally, you might feel moody or irritable, agitated, lonely and isolated, and that could lead to depressive symptoms. Behaviorally, you might start to withdraw. You might be sleeping more, and you might be having trouble falling asleep. Depends on the person. Your appetite might change. Some of us, when we get stressed, can't eat. We have very trouble eating, and some of us just eat more than we normally do. Some people might turn to alcohol or drug use, some of the more negative coping habits. And then, you might start putting things off and procrastinating. And then there's physical signs. Stress can cause an increased heart rate, problems breathing, muscle and joint pains. You might not recognize, oh, my aching back or my neck hurts. I'm just so out of sorts. An impaired immune system, and we don't need that right now. We want to make sure our immune system is stronger. Increased severity of any medical concerns that you already have. Stress can only make that worse. Gastrointestinal problems. Your stomach might, a lot of people feel stress in their gut. And then a decreased libido is also a sign of stress. So how can you care for yourself to avoid those symptoms and mind both your physical and your mental health during this time? It takes a little work on our part, but I decided that I wanted to keep it simple. So I came up with these two words: checklist and check-in. So to create your checklist, take a look at those areas of your life that you can control. Set small goals to attend to your spiritual self, practicing mindfulness, getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising on a regular basis, and getting your medical checkups. Sometimes we're in the midst of it all. That's something that we forget. You want to identify any barriers to the goals that you set, and then try to make some adjustments to overcome those barriers. If you're having trouble falling asleep, maybe, that's probably a whole topic for another discussion, but there are a lot of ways that you can improve your sleep habits, so things like that, making those adjustments. And it might not happen overnight, but if you're making small steps in the right direction, eventually you'll get there. Here's some other things that you can do. Share your feelings. Every time you talk about your feelings, you're letting go of some of the stress. I look at it like an onion, you're peeling off the layers of the onion, peeling off the layers of that stress. So tap into your support system. We might need to be physically distant right now, but we can still connect like we're doing today by phone, over the computer, online, on video chat sites. And then you want to ask others for what you need. A lot of times people want to help, but they just don't know how. They don't know what they can do for you. But if you let them know many times they'll come through. And then spending some time in the fresh air, even if it's just to go outside the front and stand outside on your front porch, open the door, go out for a little while, take some nice deep breaths, get some fresh air, going for a walk. If you can make that a regular habit, or just getting outside, that would be great. And then give yourself permission to have a little fun. Laugh a little. Laughter is great medicine. When you find some downtime, do something that you enjoy. Listen to music, dance, have a movie night, whatever it is that helps you to reduce stress. Think about the times in the past when you were very stressed and what you did to get through that, because for each of us, it's a little different. Sometimes when I get stressed, all I want to do is clean my house, and that's not the normal me, okay? That's when I'm stressed, I want to clean. And I think it's me trying to take control of whatever I can. I can do the dishes and the kitchen will look clean, and I have control of that, because whatever's stressing me out, I might not have control over. So that helps me. And so you want to do whatever helps you. The next slide is recorded, and I hope it's a little fun for you. So I invite you to join me in the art of the dance.
I invite you now to join me in the art of the dance. You can join me from your chair if you choose, or if you have space and want to get up and move about, that's your choice. Dancing is one way to pay a little more attention to our bodies, get out of our minds, pay attention to our bodies. If you prefer, however, to remain seated, you can move about to the music that way, or you can close your eyes and listen to the music. It's all your choice. Anyway, let's try to work on some de-stress right now. And remember, during this time, it's okay to smile. Smiling, even by itself, helps to increase endorphins, the good stuff in your body. What the body wants. The body wants to dance. It wants to get up off the floor and dance. It wants to get up out of the chair and dance. To get from behind the desk and dance. To get out with people and dance. The body wants to move. The body wants to move and touch and move together with other bodies. It wants to smell other bodies and taste other bodies. It wants to be up to its neck and body. The body wants to be a body. The body is tired of waiting and resting beneath the mind. The body falls asleep thinking, you can't stand the wait between action and action. It wants to move out into the world. It wants warmth, sunshine, breezes, and wet sand between its toes. It wants to jump in water and float. It wants to fly. It wants to feel with every cell the pull of gravity and the centrifugal force of turning. It wants its energy, and it wants its peace and tranquility. The body wants to know that it is not alone. The body wants to know that it can vibrate to its own voice and to feel harmony with other voices and dissonance. It wants to dance slow and dance fast, to flow, to thrust, to bend, to be still. It wants to make beautiful lines and to be seen. The body wants everything. It does not want to be bounded. The body wants to dance.
So are you feeling a little bit more relaxed now? According to Britannica, dance is the movement of the body in a rhythmic way, usually to music and within a given space, for the purpose of expressing an idea or emotion, releasing energy, or simply taking delight in the movement itself. Listening to music, whether energizing or relaxing, is a proven way to reduce your stress and reconnect with your body and breath. So when you put the music and the dance together, it's a great recipe for stress reduction, whether you have a dance party with others or just spend some time dancing with yourself. And here are some of the ways that being mindful can help to improve our daily lives. Mindfulness practices help us to be in the moment, to stay clear and current, and that in turn reduces stress, improves sleep, relieves pain, promotes physical health, improves our diet because we're going to be more mindful of what we're eating, and improves our listening skills. So some of those things that stress causes, mindfulness practices can help to fix. These are just some slides, and we do have copies of these. There are times when the best thing you can do for yourself is to reach out to others for help, and there are professionals and organizations out there. This is from SAMHSA, and this slide is from National Alliance on Mental Illness. You know, it's not always possible to manage extreme stress and anxiety on your own, so reaching out to others for assistance may be the first step you can take to help yourself or someone else that you know. So these are just informational slides. More slides from North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. And then for people that are caring for somebody who's living with dementia. Okay. So I hope you're still with me.
So
Okay.
Cheryl, let me just, could you just give the phone numbers out for some of those things
Sure.
for the people that don't have the visual? That would be wonderful.
Sure. Okay. Okay, so obviously 911 would be the one. And then for SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, their distress line is 1-800-985-5990. And then for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, that number is 1-800-985, it's the same number, 5990. And then they have a domestic violence hotline also, which is 800-799-7233.
And let's just mention on that, domestic violence is a real thing, and especially for seniors, that we can have domestic violence within the senior population, or abuse that happens to seniors. So that's an important number to have nearby. Again, it's the 800-799-7233. And especially when people get stressed, like if you've got loved ones that are really helping care for you and they get stressed, then their reaction to you can be kind of out of character for them. And they just may need some help coping with what's going on as well.
Exactly.
Would you like to add anything to that, Cheryl?
No, I agree with you. And there are more ways, there are different types of abuse too. So, you know, it's not always physical, it could be emotional or even financial. So
Right.
those are things that you want to look out for. I do also have the number through the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services for their emotional support helpline. And I think that that's, if you're experiencing any kind of stress or anxiety, you can call 866-342-6892. And then they also have it's the same number, I think, they also recommend calling the same crisis number that I had given you before too. So.
And, you know, most weeks on our Friday call with Dennis, we give out support lines as well. So if you ever need help, we're just a phone call away. If you don't know who to call, you can also call our center at 919-542-4512, which is the Eastern Center, and the Western Center is 919-742-3975. And we're always, we're available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. To help you sort through things too as well. So we just want to make sure people have access to everything, everyone who's here.
Right. And I think it's really important to emphasize that, again, you know, if you're that stressed, there's so many reasons right now for people to be stressed. And again, it's not a sign of weakness. And it's really a strength for you to be able to, you know, you're doing that for yourself, to reach out to other people for help. It's the first step that you're taking to get the help that you need and to do something about it. So just, you know, I wouldn't hesitate. What we're talking about today with the mindfulness practices are kind of everyday stressors that, you know, we can control, that we, you know, we have something that we can do on our own to help heal. So, all right. All right. So, this picture, I chose this picture because it reminded me of some of the many peaceful places I've visited since moving to North Carolina. There's not a lot of them in Illinois like this, and they're all over the place, and places that you know, promote opportunities to check in. You know, we talked about your checklist, what you can do for your checklist, but now I want to simply focus on checking in. And that means taking a moment to recognize where you are, to listen to your body, to attend to what it needs at the time, to attend to your heart, your feelings, knowing that in that moment you're okay, that the moment is really all we have, and to breathe. In other words, to be mindful. Check in with yourself whenever possible, and the more you do it, the more you will find yourself doing it, and the easier it will become, and the more welcome your moments of mindfulness will become. By adding mindfulness to your life repertoire, you can check in at a moment's notice, sensing your environment, sensing your emotional and physical self, calming your mind, paying attention to your body, and giving the self what it needs to stay well. It's then that your body, your mind, and your spirit will thank you for the attention that you've provided. It's then that you'll be better prepared to help others, to attend to the people that you work with, that your family, the people that you love, to attend to your coworkers, and to attend to your own health. So I'd like to end this training where we began, where we started with mindfulness. But before I begin our last practice, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today and for being here during this time and reaching out to others like you are this morning. Mindfulness is quite simply full conscious awareness. It's paying full conscious attention to whatever thoughts, feelings, and emotions are flowing through your mind, your body, and your breath without judging or criticizing them in any way. It is being fully aware of whatever is happening in the present moment without being trapped in the past or worrying about the future. It is living in the moment, not for the moment. Every aspect of life can be used to enhance mindfulness. Every one of your senses can become gateways to a delightful state of being. Eating and drinking, and even such simple things as walking through a park, smelling the flowers, can all become mindfulness practices. So now, if you're able to take a few more minutes with me, I would like you to join me in a guided meditation exercise. What I would ask, just for your own checking in, is to see where you are on an anxiety scale right now, from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most anxiety you have ever felt, and 1 being very relaxed and calm. See where you are. Give yourself a number right now, and I'll ask you to do the same thing when we're finished with this practice to see if it helps. So find a relaxing position, and I'll take you through your next few minutes, and the next slide is recorded.
Take a comfortable position, seated or lying on the ground. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let go of all the concerns of the day and be present in the moment. Feel your connection with the earth. Imagine the energy of the earth flowing up through your feet and throughout your entire body. You will now go on a journey through your body, letting go of any tension and relaxing each part completely. Connect with your toes, feet, and ankles. Stretch and flex them, getting in touch with any tension you may feel there. Breathe deeply, and as you exhale, let go completely, releasing all the tension in your toes, feet, and ankles. Feel deep peace and tranquility in all parts of your being. Breathe deeply again and imagine the energy of the earth moving up into your legs and pelvis. Connect with your legs, knees, thighs, and pelvis. Stretch and flex these parts of your body, getting in touch with the tension you may feel there. Breathe deeply, and as you exhale, let go completely, releasing all the tension in your legs, very relaxed, your knees and thighs, very soft and relaxed, your pelvis and inner organs, very soft and relaxed. You feel deep peace and tranquility in all parts of your being. Breathe deeply again. Imagine the energy of the earth flowing up into the trunk of your body, moving through your abdomen, stomach, and chest, and circulating up your back and spinal cord to your shoulders. Connect with these parts of your body and observe any tension you may have there. Stretch and flex your abdomen, stomach, and chest. Stretch and flex the muscles of your back and shoulders. Breathe deeply, and as you exhale, let go completely, releasing all the tension in your abdomen and stomach. Feeling very relaxed. Your chest, feeling very relaxed. Your back, spinal column, and shoulders very soft and relaxed. Feel deep peace and tranquility in all parts of your being. Breathe deeply again and imagine the energy of the earth moving up into your arms, elbows, forearms, hands, and fingers. Connect with your arms and hands and stretch and flex these parts of your body, getting in touch with any tension you may feel there. Breathe deeply, and as you exhale, let go completely, releasing all the tension in your arms, your elbows, your forearms, very soft and relaxed. Your wrists, hands, palms, and fingers, very soft and relaxed. Feel deep peace in all parts of your being. Breathe deeply again. And now imagine the energy of the earth moving up into your neck and your head. Scan your neck and head to get in touch with any tension you may feel there. Gently flex the muscles in your neck. Move your head from side to side. Open your mouth in a wide yawn, flexing your tongue and jaw, letting go of all the tension and feelings caught there. Make a grimace and flex all the muscles in your cheeks, forehead, and around your eyes. Breathe deeply, and as you exhale, let go completely, releasing all the tension in your neck, very soft and relaxed. Your tongue, jaw, and cheeks, very relaxed. Your forehead, eyes, ears, and scalp, very soft and relaxed. Feel deep peace and tranquility in all parts of your being. Now, scan your body, and if there is still any place where you feel even the slightest tension, go back to that part of your body to flex and tense it, increasing the tension you experience there. Breathe deeply, and now let go completely. In all parts of your body, you feel deep peace, calm, and tranquility.
Wash my hands.
Now we will go on a journey to the safe and sacred space. Imagine that you are starting on a journey to a very special place at the center of your soul. This is your inner refuge, your safe and sacred space where only you can enter. Take time to journey to this place and to discover your special refuge. What is your refuge like? Perhaps it is a garden full of flowers and beautiful trees. Or maybe your refuge is in the mountains, by a lake or in a meadow with clear blue sky and passing clouds. Or perhaps your sacred space is in a chapel or a house from your childhood. Decide now where you will go to be in your safe and sacred space. take some time to explore and create this place, filling it with all that will support and nourish you. Are there colors, sounds, smells, textures that you are aware of? How do you feel in this place? What is it like for you? Take some time now to enjoy your special place. Feel very safe, very secure, and peaceful. Fill yourself with great peace and a deep sense of security. Take time to open yourself to receive whatever you might need at this moment. Take some deep breaths there and take a few more moments enjoying your refuge of peace. You might want to look around for some image that you can bring back with you to remind you of your refuge. And when you feel ready, say goodbye to your safe space, knowing you can return there whenever you desire. Begin now to return to your body. Breathe deeply and feel the energy of your feet and toes. You might want to stretch and flex your feet and toes to feel the connection with your body. I will count from 5 to 1, and with each number, you will feel more and more present in your body, in your room. 5, breathe deeply. Stretch and flex your legs, feeling the energy flowing fully throughout your body. 4, stretch and flex the trunk of your body. Feel fully alive in your pelvis, your abdomen, your chest, and your shoulders. 3, stretch and flex your arms and hands, feeling the energy flowing fully through your arms. 2, very gently stretch and flex your neck and facial muscles, feeling very alive and relaxed in your head. 1, breathe deeply, and when you are ready, open your eyes, feeling very alive and relaxed, present in the moment and in your room. Feel very peaceful and tranquil in all of your being. Take a few moments in silence to reflect on your visit to the refuge of your soul. You might want to write about it or draw your experience, or you may want to share this with a partner or a friend or a special memory book. And now, as I started, I'd like to say thank you and namaste.
Okay, so that's the presentation. I'm wondering, I just wanted to have, a quick question, to answer out loud if you don't want to share, but if you do, I asked you at the beginning of that practice to think of a number, and I'm wondering what your number is now afterwards, having gone through the relaxation process. Anybody notice a difference?
I'll start. This is Jackie. I'll tell you, I started probably at about a 5, and right now I feel like I'm down to about a 2.
That's nice.
That was really, really good. I really appreciated that. Anybody else want to share? If you do, you just need to unmute.
I didn't really, this is Phil. I didn't really decide on a number, but now I'm ready to go to sleep. Is that normal?
That's normal. Yeah, that's normal. And actually, because the slides recorded, I'm listening to it just like you are. And I find myself kind of, oh, yeah, I could have slept a few more hours last night.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. One concern I have is Jackie does mindfulness with us when we do our exercises and we're cooling down. But I personally never really feel like I'm breathing deep enough. I've taken 2 breaths to her every one. So I guess is there a way to actually really teach yourself how to be able to breathe more deeply and actually feel like you're breathing that way?
Actually, there is, and you can do it. It's called abdominal breathing because you want to make sure that the breath is going all the way down. So it's probably easier to do if you're laying down. You can do it sitting up. You can put your hands on your abdomen. And when you take a nice deep breath, you want to make sure that your abdomen is coming out when you breathe in.
Okay.
And then you hold it there and then you let it go. So, that's how you can make sure that the breath is going all the way down.
Okay.
And one of the things that I noticed for myself is I was a really shallow breather before, and I would say the same thing, Val, that I could not breathe deeply. I just didn't feel like I had it in me. And for me, it's as much about the exhale as it is the inhale.
Mm-hmm.
So I really concentrate on, as I breathe, I feel like my chest naturally kind of goes out, and that's usually where I would stop before. And like Cheryl was saying, I had to literally concentrate on engaging my abdomen in it as well. Likewise, when I exhale, I have to concentrate on exhaling completely so that as that last bit of breath goes out, I'm ready for air to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I've gotten my breaths to expand. So I don't know if that might help.
I'm going to try. I mean, I try all the time, but it just doesn't feel like it to me. But Jackie, I'll let you know for sure when I get there, okay?
Yeah,
Good
you know,
question.
and it is muscular, and it is, as you're expanding your breath, you do start to feel like your ribs start to open up as well.
Right.
Breathing more and more.
And
And
with
Liz
with
may
the
add something to
exhale.
that with all of her work with yoga and stuff.
Okay.
So
Right.
Cheryl, you were going to say
So-
something?
I was going to say with the exhale, you're actually contracting your your stomach muscles.
Right.
You can
And
feel
I've had,
as you're exhaling, pushing
Yeah,
the
so-
air out.
yeah, so you're really, your exhaling isn't like an absent-minded thing. It's actually, it's an active motion of contracting all those muscles to force that air out. Liz?
And actually, when you're focusing, and it's good because you're focusing on your breath. And when we talk about stress, everything else is like, you're not paying attention to any of that. You're focusing on your breath, and that's how it helps.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm actually getting certified as a 200 hours for yoga certification. And so we do a lot of breath work. And one of the things that they're teaching us, so a couple of things. One is that your exhale should actually be longer than your inhale. Okay, so if you're counting, you can do a 6 count or a 4 count, count, breathe in, and then there's different types of breathing. But when you breathe out, see if you can make it longer than when you breathe in. The other thing is that we tend to breathe into our belly, so vertically, try to breathe out. So when you take a breath in, try to breathe out and really fill that whole, abdomen, your lungs and stuff. So. Yeah, so try it. There's different ways you can practice breathing. And Val, if you want to, I mean, there's different techniques of breathing. Instead of just the abdominal breathing, there's other types of breathing that you can try too, so.
Well, when my stomach gets a little smaller, maybe I'll feel it more.
Amen to that. That COVID-15, I'll tell you what.
The other thing that I don't know whether you caught when, oh, there you go. When Cheryl was doing the exercise is the pause between the inhale and the exhale and the exhale and the inhale, because that builds your ability to do that as well. And like Liz was saying, I really, as I'm breathing, because my dad had COPD, so I'm very conscious of lungs, I mean, I don't have it, but I have some asthma type stuff. So I really concentrate on trying to expand my lungs as I breathe, even during our exercise programs, because we need to work them. There's muscles all around those, and we have to work those as well. All right. Any other questions or comments for Cheryl?
Yeah, Cheryl, I have a question if you don't mind.
Sure.
I have heard that a person's diet could influence their mental health. You know anything about that?
Well, I mean, because of if you're following a very that well-balanced, nutritionally well-balanced diet, I think it can affect your mood. If it affects you physically, if you have a poor diet, and if it affects you physically, your physical well-being affects your emotional well-being. I don't know any specific foods that might be better for this or that, but I do know that sugar is, something that we should limit, whenever possible, because that can affect our moods. And everybody's a little different. Some people can take caffeine, other people, I can't take caffeine. I get very anxious if I have caffeine. So in those respects, there are different foods that can influence you emotionally and mentally. But I'm not an expert on, nutritional expert that, I can give you the exact diet. I know that there's something called the MIND diet, and that's kind of very similar to the Mediterranean diet. And it's supposed to be one of the best diets as far as improving your cognition or, helping your memory and that kind of thing. That's supposed to be one of the best diets.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any other contacts within your organization that may have more information on that, Cheryl? Do you know?
I will find out. I can
That would
find
be
out.
great.
Yeah, or I can do some research myself. But Alan, were you thinking more? What specifically were you thinking? Have you heard anything about?
Well, I've read lots of things, and I was just curious of your take on it. I mean, like you mentioned the thing about caffeine. There are certain things that people eat that can raise their anxiety levels or make them jitterier.
Sure.
And I think that could affect their stress also.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we want to make sure we limit those types of foods, especially during stressful times, so, yeah.
And I think, what we need to do is we really go back to the mindfulness concept. We need to be mindful of when we do eat certain foods, what does it do to our body? A lot of us, we just eat and we do it without being mindful.
Right.
So I think that's a big piece of it as well. And Alan, you're probably more in tune with your body than most people that I know. So, that's why we need to continue to learn these kind of things. So that's why I'm so glad Cheryl's with us today.
Sure.
And sometimes we find more questions that we need answers to when we do this.
Right. And I don't know if this is off topic. I'm a vegan. So for me, most food, if you follow that diet, you're pretty much eating healthy most of the time, although you can eat, overdo it on potato chips or, sugar, cakes that don't have any dairy in them too, so you have to be mindful, even in that regard, even in that strict of a diet, you have to kind of be mindful of what you're putting in your body.
Interesting story on that and being mindful. My husband and I, when we had first got married, there was a food that my mother would make that was kind of special, and I mean it was veal parmesan, and to me it was delicious the way my mother cooked it. So I wanted to cook it for Jim. So we would eat it. We might eat it once a month or something, and it was so funny because what ended up happening was after we ate it, which we didn't put this together until months down the road, is both of us would have a very restless night. We had very weird dreams after we had it. So we stopped eating the veal. And so, that's why when we talk about being mindful, you really need to watch how your body reacts to certain things. And we hadn't had that reaction and we both had the same reaction to that particular food.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody else have any other questions for Cheryl? Now she is an RN, and she is a trainer. So we are also interested in if there are other topics, like Alan, like you were saying about the food connection with mental health. If there are other topics that people want to hear about, we've got some planned for November and December. We're going to focus on November is Dementia Awareness Month. So she's going to do a presentation for us on dementia. And it's going to be more light than heavy, but it's going to be, you know, something that we can educate ourselves on. And then in December, we want to do about coping with the holidays, because the holidays, especially this year, can be a really stressful, and everybody's got a preconceived notion of how beautiful the holidays should be, and some skills that we can use through that. So for coming into the new year, if there's things that people would like Cheryl to talk about, and if she doesn't have that in her toolbox, she's willing to talk with other people to find people that have that in their toolbox. So we're looking for ideas. So if you've got ideas, you're welcome to share them now, or you can email me, jackie.green@chathamcoa.org. Cheryl, would you like to share your email address in case somebody wants to reach out to you directly?
Sure. It's my name, Cheryl.Levinson, and it's at mytahome.com.
So it's MYTA for Therapeutic Alternatives, home.com. Did I say that right?
Right.
Okay, good. Trying to picture it in my brain and getting it to come out of my mouth. So, and I did hear from, I'm not sure if somebody typed in the chat feature, and you're coming in as reception. So if you could tell me what your name is in reception in the chat. But what they said is they like the breathing exercise and need more of it.
Okay.
We all need that relaxation, don't we?
Right.
You know, it's funny, I practice, you know, when I get stressed, I just naturally exhale a lot. So if I'm walking around and go, people usually know that I'm dealing with stress. So, well, thank you so much, Cheryl. We do appreciate you coming in and joining us, and we look forward to having you with us again in November and in December. I guess I should have put myself on spotlight as I did that, but I can't do that. Anyway, well, we thank you again, and we hope everybody has a wonderful day and a wonderful week.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you. Thank you all for being with me. I appreciate it. Nice meeting.
Cheryl, there was another question about
Oh.
certificates.
Yes.
So I will, if I know, see, I can get a certificate to, I can get the list of people who need certificates to Val. I'm not to Val. I'm looking at Val and I'm saying Val, I mean Cheryl. So I've got a training record here that I filled out. So I will email that to Cheryl, and then you can send us the soft copies of the certificates. Is that correct?
That would be great. And you have also an evaluation form, so that's for any attendee to fill out. And on there you could put any suggestions or, you know, just your thoughts about this training. We'd appreciate it, because that's how we learn how to improve.
Okay, so I will send out to all of the staff and the volunteers that are on the call, I'll send out the Therapeutic Alternatives training evaluation form. And when she gets that, she can use that to create the certificates. How's that sound?
Yeah, as soon as I get the training record, the list of names, I can do
Yep.
that. Because the evaluation is anonymous, so it doesn't have to have a name.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm glad you clarified that. And it's Doris. Doris is the one that was joining us as reception. So Doris, we're so glad you joined us.
I do.
So, all right.
All right.
Anything else, anybody?
Yeah, what about the scam? Thought we was gonna have the